Walking, you're in one road, right? Victoria Street, the cabs might all be coming up hired, but you're trying to get a cab. So I'd walk down to Parliament Square where there's 4 ways or 5 ways of coming into the square from cabs for different directions. So you're going to get more likely the cab coming in.
Get a cab before then, sure.
Yeah, you would. But I'm just saying my strategy, Dave. It'd be my strategy.
And a lot of passengers are really thick.
Then you're just trying to get the fare lower. You're walking towards east. I'll just go along Victoria Embankment.
By the time I've got it, I've walked home.
It's Temple. I'll just get the Temple.
Yeah, you talk about switching off. That brings the fact that the passengers in the back and you don't know they're there.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a story there. I don't know if you could tell it. Yeah.
I have done a few myself where you're driving along and you suddenly the job is going kind of towards home. You forget they're there, and all of a sudden they speak. You jump. You think, "Oh, I didn't know that. I forgot I had someone." I'm glad they woke me up. So where was you going again? I was
a driver. I know he was coming in from the airport, and he completely forgot he had passengers in the back, and pulled up at the Mandarin Oriental and got on the rank. And it was only when the voice in the back said, "What are we doing here?" It made him jump.
He's ranked up as well.
He just come along. I just thought, well, that's handy. There's no one on it. Look, I'll get on that.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the tips they give you when you do your talk, your final talk, is always, because you don't always, but always have a look in the back when the passenger gets out. Really.
That's a rehearsed line there that I say. Please take all your belongings. Have one last look as you get out. Yeah. Check the seat, because it's a weekly occurrence, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I generally used to forget, and the next passenger in finds it and hands it to you. And you think, oh, okay.
It's the aggro getting it back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is if you do check it, then it's, then you are much covered there.
On the aggro of getting it back to them, I did once have, I think it was a bunch of keys. And I remembered some details about the job, but I couldn't get them. I thought I'd leave them in the cab. As soon as I'm near a police station, I put them in. And then I got to a police station somewhere down in South East London, and I gave them into the counter. And I said, they were left in my cab a week ago. And the job was going to Crofton Park, and the guy left them in there. So it will go to lost property, because they will, if you've left something in the cab and they know, they will find it. They will get it back if there's a bunch of keys. And the policeman started having a go at me and telling me that you should have handed this in the next day and stuff like that. And I started thinking to myself, if you do that, you know what I'm going to do in future? I'm going to throw it in the bin. I'm not going to hand it in at all. So I'm handing them in now, and you're berating me for being a week late and should have done it within 24 hours and stuff. Well, a bit ridiculous, really.
I think the rules are 24 hours, aren't they?
It is, yeah, something like that. Yeah. I mean, I can't remember why I didn't do it within 24 hours, but...
Well, you didn't find them, did you? Obviously. I only found them like 5 hours ago.
Yeah, you could have said that, but also sometimes you do things that you forget that you're doing it. I mean, they were in the little cubby tray, and I kept on thinking I'm going to do it, and then you postpone it, and then a week's gone by, a year, and... Yeah. Anyway, so
I nearly forgot what I think. I had the phone back once. This was a while ago, but I completely forgot about it. I was going to meet the guy like about midday, like around Oxford Street or something like that. And literally, my mate reminded me of it, and I was like, oh, and I'm like mid journey with a passenger on, and then this person I think they called me or whatever on someone else's phone, and it was the most serendipitous encounter that I'm driving down Oxford Street, and this person's like there to meet me, and I've got a punter on, just complete chance that And then, so literally just exchange of him grabbing the phone and then chucking a bottle of wine through to me to say thanks for returning my phone. But I had completely forgot, and it's just this weirdest exchange where he just gives me it.
And you still had a passenger in the back as well?
Yeah, I had a passenger in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now reminds
forgot about that one. Yeah.
Now I've come up with another one, Tom. So I don't know if it's off track, but you've took the fare and you ain't got enough diesel or petrol or whatever. You know that it ain't going to last it. So... you've got to stop in the TX or the fairway. You've got to stop and get diesel. So do you stop? And they're sitting in the back. You have to explain to them.
That's really unprofessional.
Yeah, I've never had that. Unprofessional.
Oh, I have.
I know. See,
just wait there. I just got to fill it up with diesel. I'll stop the meter. I tell you what, it's usually has been. It's on a rotor. So not a super long rotor, but an Heathrow, for instance. I'm now know my shifts are coming to an end, but you've jumped in and all the petrol stations have slowly disappeared. So you're always waiting for a fare to get you near a petrol station so you could fill up, but it doesn't happen. And as that slowly ticks on, you suddenly get Heathrow and you know that this is borderline. I need to explain to him I need to stop and just remember the meter.
Would you have done a tankful in a shift? Would you have used a tankful?
Not necessarily, but you're going to berate me now for not
Yes.
filling up before I start my shift.
Yes, exactly. So if you go outside to my one now, even though I've only come here, you'll see it's full of electric and full of fuel.
So, top tip, fuel up before you start your shifts.
And also, fuel yourself. Plenty of sleep, plenty of rest, plenty of food and water, so you're fresh.
Yeah.
I believe looking after your passengers starts with you.
Yeah.
If you look after yourself, you're groomed, well slept, well fed, your cab's clean, you've already started looking after your passengers.
Yeah.
And by that, you're looking after your family because you're able to work safe and get home.
Bloody amazing.
This is wisdom right here, folks.
I mean,
but it is though. But,
nuggets.
But
We're getting
even
pearls,
but
pearls.
even how well you can then operate and do the job, it's in your best interest to do that, because if you're like well hydrated, well slept, you're not hungry or thinking about going to the toilet, you can just do the job to the best of your ability, and that probably has knock-on effects and compounding anyway.
Yeah.
You get off the job quicker, you get onto another one, you're probably making more money because you're looking after yourself.
Well, it helps with the road rage as well. So we're now on to another subject of road rage with drivers. So I've always told my students, drive with the most happiest heart you can drive with, because as soon as you lose it, it will cost you money. The shift will be over. Whatever it is, you're just psychological damage that you've just took on. You'll go home, you'll be arguing with yourself. So I tend to say that you're doing professional driving. So I have indicated to change lanes. I know that you have the opportunity to let me change this lane, but if you decide that you're not going to let me change this lane, I will change this lane anyway, because I've been doing this for years, and you can get out of the lane that you was in. The person there behind you is aggressively angry and whatever. Just stay calm, stay happy, carry on with your job. Whatever happens, never get out, never lose your temper. Just keep driving professionally.
It's a good thing for life anyway, but that stoical approach.
Yeah.
And I like to think of it, the mental analogy I think of is, if you're having a game of tug of war, which is what most road rage is,
Yeah.
I'm at the other end and I'm just going to drop the rope.
Yeah.
They can pull on that rope all they like and just, I mean, there was a good one I learned from Darren Brown years ago, and he got approached after some magic convention, and someone comes up to him and says, like, "Oh, you want to fight, do you, mate?" Just a proper, like, just drunk geezer, just looking at someone to pick on, and he picks on him. And he's there going, "Oh, God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?" Because if you question it, if you go, "Oh, I'm sorry," or whatever, it kind of adds fuel to the fire. So if you're getting road rage with anyone, if you go, "Oh, what was that?" and then it just constantly spirals, doesn't it? So he just goes, "Well, the wall outside my house is 3 foot tall." The bloke's like, "What?" And it just completely diffuses the situation entirely. So if ever it gets to that point, I mean, again, you don't really want to engage with anyone at all, because the second you engage in any form, even eye contact, a glance, anything like that can be interpreted as, "Oh, that guy's doing me in or whatever." Just put the blinders on, look straight ahead. But if I have had times like that, you just break it up and go, "Oh, what did you have for breakfast this morning?"
Yeah.
And it's just like, what's breakfast got to do with it? And then see you later, it's all gone.
I don't have a similar idea I used to do. I remember having an argument with a guy in Borough High Street. I wasn't arguing, and he managed to get beside my window, and I said to him, "Listen, mate, do you know something? If me and you met in a pub, we'd probably be mates. So whatever's going on between us right now, it's all an illusion. It's all in your imagination. We're playing a game of we could name this game of car driving something if you like to. And I basically won. Today I won, but I lose half a dozen times. And you're angry that you lost and you've ended up behind me. I've let you come beside me. We just don't let it get us down." And he started a little bit of giggle, and it was fine. You mustn't lose it, because now we're on to bilkers, I imagine. Let's do bilking.
Yeah.
Because I think people probably need a lot of advice with bilkers. One, can you spot a bilker?
Yeah, sometimes, not all the time. Not all the time.
What's some telltale signs, David?
Well, like I've said in another podcast, I pulled up Russell Square, and I was actually POB. I was pulled up at the lights, and the guy came out. He hadn't even paid any attention whether I got a light on or anything. I put the window down because he wanted to talk to me. He just said, "I've got money." I just put the window up and just drove off. I didn't bother speaking to him. I said, but yeah, who on earth says that kind of thing?
I've got money. Yeah.
This obviously means I've got money, and it's there. It's going to be when I go and pick it up, and he thinks I'm going to let him go walking off through a council estate to find out he's not going to come back.
Yeah. Well, talking to council estates, if you ever get a fare to the Blantyre estate, you know the Blantyre?
Yeah.
I mean, the crooks on the Blantyre on Kings Road.
And also down in Brixton and all that. You just know, but let it go. Don't get into it.
That's the tip. What happens? You've been bilked. What do you do?
Let it go.
Let it go.
It's just part and parcel. It's very rare that it happens. It doesn't happen a lot.
No, I know. But no matter the price, no matter the money, you will lose more if you do anything more than just drive off and get into the next fare. Anything you do will cost you more money than it's already cost you if you get involved.
But also, if you're working late in the evening, someone wants to go, let's make it up, someone's go to Maidstone, you're quite within your rights to ask for something up front.
But the opposite thing would be, I won't take it anyway. It's either money up front or you're not taking it, are you?
Yeah, no. You're not going to take a chance, are you?
No, not at all.
There was a lot. I've got the LTDA. There was something in the diary. I've seen it in there. There's sort of laws and abstract, and it's something relating to that part payment or whatever. I think it can be done, but yeah.
You can refuse it because it's so far anyway, can't you?
Yes. Yeah. So on the grounds of refusal, you kind of have some power.
And what
to do.
What are the grounds of refusal? What's the
12 miles, isn't it?
anything else?
An hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything in London takes an hour now, though, doesn't it?
I know. Yeah. It used to be 6 miles, didn't it? You're not from that era of 6 miles. So we used to refuse 6 miles, but it used to be 20. It's 20 miles from Heathrow and 12 miles from London that you couldn't refuse.
And you 12 miles from where you are, or from Charing Cross, or what?
That was the other thing.
Where's the 12 miles start?
Basically, I think
how about if you're in Streatham and they say, well, you should another 12 miles further south?
Yeah, no, I don't think you have to.
Or 12 miles from Charing Cross?
We'll have to check that now, because it didn't used to be. You're in London, and we're London cab drivers obliged to take you 6 miles within London. Then the 12-mile thing came, which is almost one side of London, the other. And I don't know this answer to this one again. I need to brush up. So is it only 12 miles within our jurisdiction that we are working that we take you, and outside that? Because from Heathrow...
It must be from where you are, because hence why Heathrow changes to 20 miles.
No, because Heathrow changes twice. It's 20-mile journeys from Heathrow, but if you get a journey that's going out, you end up on a thing where they won't give you the ticket to come back just because it's out of...
How about if I'm standing in Canning Town
boundary,
and I flag it down and I say to the driver, Chiswick, has he got to take me?
Oh, now we've got to measure it, haven't we?
Well, they're both inside, aren't they? Barely. Canning Town's barely just in it, isn't it?
Yes,
and Chiswick's just basically just in it, isn't it? That's why I use those two as extremes. But
yes, but
I
don't know.
I had one of the best ones at Euston once, and a lady got in, and she got in, and I wasn't bringing it because it was where you get that disabled sort of pickup, and she was quite high and mighty that she got to go. There's a massive queue of people basically. She was quite high and mighty that she got to be able to skip that queue. And she gets in, she goes, I can't remember where it was, but it was somewhere southeast. I really didn't want to do the job. But I was like, that's got to be over 12 miles. So we didn't pull off. I just quickly put it in the Google. And you got to make sure when you do it to actually start calculating the route, because it would give you mileage initially as the crow flies.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as the driving route, which again...
Is it as the crow flies?
Exactly. Or so have I just done myself in here?
Yeah. So,
but anyway,
clarification.
We'll go further. So I said, no, madam, I'm not going there, because it said like 12.1 miles. I'm like, yeah, score, And I got some cop from other drivers saying like, oh, look, you're on a rank, you should have taken it or whatever, you're brooming it or whatever. But I said, no, I'm not doing it. She goes, well, I'll take your badge number then. I was like, and she was going on in circles. Yeah, we'll take your badge number. I'm going to report you. I was like, yeah, cool, you can do that. I said, even better, there's a compliance officer over there. There was the compliance officer at TfL, and they came along and they went, yep, he can do that, madam. He's well within his rights. I'm like, yes. The only time I ever wanted to see a compliance officer.
Why did you refuse her?
I'm out west, and it was just like getting towards the end of the night, yeah.
Ah, Tom.
But above 12 miles, I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm now thinking about your Canning Town Chiswick, and it just occurred to me, obviously, it's a 6 mile radius of Charing Cross. So if you go to the edge, that's 6 miles. You go to the other edge, that's 6 miles. So anything boundary to boundary is 12 miles as the crow flies. So anything boundary to boundary is over 12 miles because of that fact. That there's no way in the world that you're going to be able to do a straight route from there to there. So it's going to put on more than 12 miles. So you can technically refuse that.
So you could refuse it even though you could still be inside the knowledge area?
Yeah, because you're definitely... Well, so we're opening up things that we need to clarify, because I kind of used to think that I know these.
We as cab drivers don't even know the rule.
Yeah,
I mean, God knows what TfL know about this.
So is it as the crow flies, or is it as the road drives? And if we know that, is it within only our boundary, and anything outside our boundary we don't have to do? So these are questions we're going to get answers to, and I'm going to ask them. So I have to remember them, and I'll get answers for us.
And the reason I'm asking is what supersedes what? When it's within our area, or whether the 12 miles, where does the 12 miles start?
Yeah.
I know someone's got to know.
Well,
you can refuse it if it goes outside the metropolitan area, can't you?
That's the point then.
Yeah, that goes a lot further.
No, the Metropolitan Police ain't our governor anymore. It's the,
but like the great
London boroughs.
London boroughs.
Yeah, London boroughs goes further than that.
The Metropolitan Police boundary used to be far bigger than the London boroughs boundary, and then I think they brought it back into to to match each other in 2000. But before that, the knowledge suburbs were enormous. They included South Mims, Cobham. We went a lot further than you guys when you did the Mickey Mouse suburbs.
Yeah, but it's just say, all you used to say, forward A1, comply roundabout, lead by A1. What did you say to South
It was roundabout. Yeah.
That sounded like Chaz and Dave then.
Rabbit. Right. So we're going to need to get some clarification. I'll try and get answers and we'll put them in. Go on, Thomas. You got any more?
I kind of outsourced a few of these to Twitter as well because I thought, you know what, I'll see what else.
Oh, you lazy sod.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of the ones I started with, and this really annoys me, is when people get in the wrong side of the cab.
Oh.
Get in and out like the live side, you know. I actually make a point of locking the doors and say, come round that side, because if that door swings open, you're on Oxford Street and someone's trying to get round you, there's cyclists.
Yeah.
No.
I don't have any stories to say about that because it really is. Oh,
I feel like it's just an obvious one, but it's the Uber look, isn't it? When you know the car just pulls up in front of you, all like 4 doors fly open, and people just get out everywhere. It just looks awful. Yeah. So I always try and make a point of like, you know.
Oh, you're talking about getting out or getting in?
Getting in and out.
Yeah.
I've had a few times where like people will go for the door and like, no, I had a woman I shouted at. I was going, no, because I could see a cyclist coming. And she goes, oh, you scared me. I'm like, well, you scared me. And that poor cyclist.
I like the name live side. Yeah, getting out the live side is good. That's a nice little terminology.
Not getting out the live side,
Yeah, don't get out and don't get in the live side as well.
Yeah.
Have you had that where you pull up and then there's someone jumping in the left and there's someone jumping in the right and they're not even related to, they're just two different castings. You're like, hold on, someone has to fight this out now.
I had it last night.
Did you?
Yeah, last night. And I had to say, sorry, this couple was first. And I had seen them first. So it's the first one I see.
Well, yeah, you do it. I do it on the basis of who I saw and was stopping for. Whoever else is. I don't know who you are.
So Aaron, Crazy Ginger Cabby, says, tell them to put their belts on as we will encounter some outside filth driving.
Outside filth driving?
Yeah, just saying that there's a lot of filth in London, obviously.
Yeah, he likes the filth, Aaron, doesn't he? He likes the filth.
Yeah.
So tell the passengers to put their belts on.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah,
we had that though, didn't we, the kids?
I'll just mention him because obviously he's a guest and people will remember him.
Who is he?
Just trying to see some of these are naff on there that people have put on Twitter.
Yeah, because
I'll tell you one thing I've just done. And lots of different. You're talking about passengers and all that. But one of the things we just done was change the password on your hotspot. And one of the reasons is I do allow certain, and I'm a bit picky. I must admit, I don't let any old one just go into my hotspot. But that sounds charming.
That could be the name of the video. Yeah. Don't let anyone go into your hotspot.
And I've made it an easy password because sometimes there's people from abroad or wherever, you know.
Yes.
And you're more than welcome. I have unlimited data always on because of God knows what you're going to be doing, and let them have that. But again, not people who are drunk late at night and they're drunk. No. I'm not going to. Not that they could do anything or access anything, but it's just think.
I think that's a brilliant tip. Absolutely brilliant. What's your password?
So all the drivers at Heathrow can know when they're all ranking there. That's what blokes used to do apparently. The TXEs used to come with a 3 years worth of internet, a dongle. It plugs in and obviously they all have the same password. So apparently blokes would just log in on other people's
and then get into the cab
and get the internet. Yeah.
Keeping your cab clean is like, I love a clean cab. I know it's pouring the rain. I know the roads are dirty in the winter, but still get it clean.
I agree.
I can see that you would have a dirty cab.
Yeah, I agree. But I did sometimes the cab would get dirty and I would be happy with. And then my friend he was supposed to come today, Terry Franks, he would give you top tips of cleaning the cab. But he would never use newspaper. He'd buy a roll of kitchen roll, be there with the window lean, doing his windows. He'd be polishing the bonnet. His cab was gleaming, always. It's a bit excessive. I'm a worker. I've got to go work. And if to go to wash the cab or go to work, I go to work.
You ain't got to wash it yourself. Just do one more job and get someone to hand wash it.
Well, yeah, I know. But you know me. I'm sleeping here. Get someone to wash it.
You're unshaven. You've got no fuel in the cab. You know what I mean?
There's a pattern coming in.
Yeah. And that's the type of, the ones that are covered in crumbs and they've been eating it and they're covered in
I'm only unshaven because I've got nowhere to shave here.
You've got 4 videos in a row with the same top on, I noticed this morning. I was looking at him going, I've got to say to him, you got the same grey sweatshirt on. I went, you've obviously filmed them all the same thing. And how many times I said to you, have loads of tops and things to keep changing.
It was, it was done on the same day, obviously. Oh, thanks, Dave. You demoralised me, destroyed me.
but there's lots of things. Do you know when you do all those sorts of things, like clean the cabs, get it clean.
Here's what,
Yeah.
whilst we're on it then, so you touched on it, clothing. What about clothing?
Yeah.
Minimum standards for drivers.
They're clean.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I think we
Clean
should ban
first of
jogging
all.
bottoms.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't.
why?
It's not a good look.
Well, no one can see the jogging bottoms.
Yeah, but when you get out and you know, you go to the hotels if you need to do your bits, or
You
you
got the
help
build-
people with cases.
Builder's bum,
yeah,
jogging bottoms, builder's bum, covered in stains. Don't look good. It's
no,
not.
it doesn't look.
And the one that came
jogging
to
bottoms,
me
you're right.
on my outro talk badge day, whatever you want to call it, was that if you are going into a hotel to pick someone up and Mr. Addison Lee is there and he's got a full suit on,
Yeah,
that's what you know.
yeah.
Obviously, we ain't got to wear suits, but like you.
Yeah, some. I mean, we're not that poor that we can't wear a decent collared t-shirt or even a decent t-shirt with a decent pair of jeans, and you're still looking smart and you still look clean and whatever. So, yeah, jogging bottoms. I definitely would say we should ban those. They're not going in room 101.
Because I'm sort of slip a bit. I mean, I don't wear jogging bottoms, but a hoodie. I mean, that's
It's a little bit slipping, but there are also the stretchy tracksuit bottoms that look like smart trousers. They've got a nice edge to them,
Yeah.
and they're very comfortable. So we are trying to be comfortable.
yes.
So you're not really comfortable in a suit. Driving a cab is not good. And I don't particularly like wearing a shirt driving a cab. It's a bit uncomfortable too. I like to wear something made of pure Mongolian silk, made from goats'
The
antlers.
vegan diet.
Yeah. Something like that. It's got to be super comfortable. That's the deal, and that's why they're wearing it.